Good morning, YouTube. Right now, I'm just getting my stuff together. This is how I start my morning. I started with reading of the Bible in the morning, and then I got my mobility work done. So now what I'm going to do is just going to get my breakfast going. What I do, I get my breakfast now, because if I don't get it now, it's going to throw everything off for the day. Like, say, getting enough protein in, getting enough calories in, and if you skip the morning, it makes it harder for later. So what I'm doing is turn that a little bit that way. What I'm going to do is just make some eggs and some oatmeal. Eggs are for the protein, and the oatmeal is going to be more or less carbs and a little bit of protein in there. But I do it like this because it's so much easier to get it done. Start my water. How's everybody's morning going? Today I got a pretty good day. I like the brown eggs. When I do that, I just mix 3 whole eggs and then half a carton of egg whites. It's from Costco. And I like the cage-free eggs. And I like to cook with real butter. It's not ideal, but I really don't care for olive oil. I know a lot of people like that, but I'm not really an olive oil person, and I don't want to use vegetable oil, so I just put just a little bit of butter. And it's really just make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. That's it. It's, I have a non-stick pan, but sometimes it hasn't done to me yet, but I don't want it getting stuck to the pan. So what do y'all have planned today? Shake this up. To me, my day is, I'm going to start off by going to make my mom some breakfast, get her coffee going. She wakes up like around 7, so by the time she wakes up, everything's ready for her. I get that done, then I go to work. Work is not that vigorous. I'm more towards the manager area of the business. And I would like to do more. I used to deliver for the company. We're in the ice business. And the company I work for is called Ice King. We deliver ice all over the valley. Stores, restaurants, bars, we're one of the best ice companies or distribution companies. We're not the manufacturer, we're just distribution. But I used to love doing the deliveries. You know, we have 3 different size bags. We got a 7-pound, 16-pound, and a 40-pound. And I used to love it because it was always real physical getting up there. You know, because you would take on the 40 bags, you would stack them, or you would take them into a restaurant or a bar, and you would fill up the ice machines. So, you know, sometimes I'll take the minimum, you know, like a 15 bags or 40s. It was actually a good workout, you know, stacking the bags on the dolly, getting it into the restaurant, running it in there, getting them, dumping them into the machine. It was, you know, a good physical action. But now I don't do as much. All I do is train people to do deliveries. And once they go on their own, my job is pretty much done. I just teach them how to communicate with customers. But see, our thing is, there's other distribution companies out there, but what sets us apart is we believe in our service. You know, we make sure everything gets done right. And they're not a sponsor of this video either. It's just, I love the company, and I've been with them for a while. They've become very good friends of mine. We look out for each other. But anyways, we do that, and usually, you know, we'll sit there, we'll discuss the day, and we'll discuss ideas of how to bring in more business. We discuss drivers and helpers, you know, how to make things better for them, but also if they're doing the job right, you know. Sometimes it's disciplinary, sometimes it's how to get them, make them more money. But it's kind of hard to make them more money because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but we've come to find out that, because we started high, we did a test pretty much. We have a couple guys where we started them at a higher rate, higher than the rest, and we were doing a test run. We didn't tell them nothing, but, you know, we're paying them more money because we know that in order, so nobody should have to work 2-3 jobs to pay their bills. So we give a living wage where they could pay their bills, they could live a good life, and still spend time with their family, their kids, or their wives, or their, you know, and that's what we believe in. But what we kind of find out is when you pay them more, I don't know if I'm on camera view. When you pay them more, they don't go get the extra money. Like, instead of doing 40 hours, which is a good chunk of money, good chunk of change that we pay every week. Instead of doing 40 hours, they'll do 30 hours, you know, and it leaves us in a bind because we need somebody to cover that shift. And how you, so you can't pay them more money. We want to pay them more money, but they give us a reason why we shouldn't pay them more money because, like for instance, they do 30 hours instead of 40 hours, you know, because they figure, well, I got enough to make my bills, and that's how they think. It's like, that's all I need is to make my bills. I don't gotta do more hours. Where if you did the extra 10 hours, instead of just 30 hours, you can use that for other things, you know, you can build a life with it, you know. You can save money, you could do side projects, maybe get a business going on your own. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with that money, not just rely on money that pays bills. And that was our goal. But we don't know what'll work, what does work, what doesn't work. We're trying, but it's just not working out. All I did is in a bowl, because this is going to be for my oatmeal, I just put a scoop of protein powder and 5 grams of creatine. And then later on I'll take another 5, so I take 10 a day. You know, I was doing this before they talked about you should take 10 grams of creatine, or someone taking 20. You know, I've been doing 10 forever. But yeah, so we can't get them to do more. We wish we could get them to do more, but they don't. Which is all right. So we figured out that paying them more money is not the answer. You know, it's better to pay them a little less, because then they have to work 40 hours. Because if we pay them too much and they only do 30 hours, it kind of leaves us in a bind. You know, and so we make them enough money to where they pay their bills, they do what they got to do. Otherwise, we got to pay other people overtime to finish their routes, and it's costing us more to get that route done. I got the seasoning on these eggs. After a while, you get tired of the eggs with no flavor, so I just use this powder and stuff. But my day is going to be, I have shoulders today. Hopefully we get in the gym around 11. And hopefully it's a good shoulder day. Shoulders, and then I got cardio today. Cardio, I'll do around 3, 4 o'clock. I try to do it before my last meal. My last meal of the day. I try to get my last meal in like 3 hours before it's time to go to bed. I go to bed early. I'm in bed around 8:30. Because I gotta get up early again in the morning. And I try to get better sleep. So that's why I go to bed at that time, to make sure I'm able to get sleep right away. Because without good sleep, your body doesn't recover for the next day. Your body needs time to recover, and it repairs during the nighttime when you're asleep. But this is what I do. This is easy. I use a half cup of oats. See, if I don't eat this right now, what'll happen is later on, I gotta find something to eat before I go to the gym, and that's when everything you're working for goes out the door, because it's very hard to find anything good to eat that's healthy and hitting your macros the way you want them to hit at a restaurant. Even restaurants or little restaurants that say, oh, we're here for you and help you with your healthy day, but first of all, it's expensive. Because if it's healthy, that you're gonna pay more money. And that's not, they kind of take advantage of that. I know it's a business and they gotta make money and everything. But like how we do it at our job, we try to make everything reasonable, not break the bank, especially because we deal with a lot of businesses. And we try not to be what hurts them for, making money in their business. If we charge too much and they gotta charge more. And the way this economy is, we gotta support each other and help each other out, but not breaking everybody's bank. At the same time, we don't want to break our bank either. We believe in supporting our local businesses. So I got shoulders and cardio. And what I got here, it comes out to about 55 grams of protein, about 40 grams of carbs, a little bit of fats with the butter and the egg yolks. I used to do just whole eggs, I never did the egg whites as far as cooking them. I always drank them. I made a shake out of them every day. I would make a shake. But I was just eyeballing everything, and I wasn't getting nowhere. It's like everything wasn't working, the way it should. This is the first of the morning meal. It's 4 o'clock now, 4:19. And it's Thursday, and we're looking at 28th. And this is how I start my morning every morning. I make the same meal. Why? Because it's easy. I just throw that there. Bring this over here. Get it ready to get the dishes done before I go to work. You live alone, you don't got anybody doing your chores, your morning chores, you gotta do them yourself. And it's kind of works out that way, it's better. How many of you use the dishwasher? Oatmeal, eggs. Take about 15, 20 minutes to make this real quick. And it'll probably go down faster than that. But this is what you gotta do if you wanna lock it in. Now yesterday I made a video of core work. And as I was loading, I'm not a good editor or anything like that. What you see is raw. I keep it raw because that's all I know. In time I'll learn how to do this editing. I use CapCut. They're not a sponsor. But, I think I'm going to need to get a bigger computer monitor. This is kind of small, and I'd rather have a monitor where I can have multiple windows open and just drag things over, you know. But this is all new for me. This is all trial and error for me as far as YouTube. And I don't want to get into anything else. Like right now, I don't. Like Instagram or Facebook. I sure the hell don't want to get into TikTok. They destroyed TikTok. I used to love the videos. Yeah, I used to get off TikTok. What got me into TikTok in the beginning was because I used to love the comedy. I didn't use it for a source of information. It was all about comedy kind of videos. They used to make me laugh. But so when I was doing that the core work, I looked at the videos, the video that I made, and I was like, man, I look like an idiot on there. But you know what? That's okay. That was the first time, and nothing was in sync. But that's the whole point of it. You know, in the beginning, you're gonna kind of look foolish, and you know, stuff like that, like co-work and stuff. You know, the good thing is I thought about it, is if you're a couple, you know, wife and husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, it actually made it kind of fun because you guys would sit there and laugh at each other and how you do it. And there's nothing bad about it. It's just, you know, it brings a little humor into your world. When I was doing it, I was like, I think I killed that bug multiple times, multiple ways. But that's all part of learning. You know, growing up in our days, back in the old days, that's what it took. You know, we weren't afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes is what helped you grow. You know, and I loved it. So I'm gonna stick with it. The core work is just saying, I mean not core work, the mobility. You know, I knew the basics, but that's it. You know, all the other stuff, you know, mobility helps you strengthen your stabilization muscles, tendons, ligaments. And if you want to keep doing this for a long time, you want to do it right, you want to, you know, not get injured. You know, you don't want to wake up sore. That's the whole point of exercise, is not to be sore, not to be tight. But this is just a short video to tell you what I do in the morning. Don't give up. Don't be afraid to look silly, especially in front of your loved ones, your wife or your husband. Give it a shot. You know, create yourself a little space in your home. Get you a couple of mats, and you know, get doing them. And if you live alone, just do them until you get better at them. Record yourself, because then that'll help you see what mistakes you're making or what your posture is, you know. And start off slow, start off small. Don't be in a rush to get it done. Yesterday I was trying to show you how to do it, or I was look like a fool while trying to get better. You know, but don't be afraid, you know. Keep it going. But with that, I'm going to let you go because I still got to get a few more things going. I got to get my gym bag together. I got to get my intra workout drink going and my little gadgets that I need for the gym, my microphones and all that, well, headphones. I do have videos or pictures of when I work out, and I'll just throw them on per video, you know, maybe not all at once, but I don't really make a lot of videos in the gym because I think it's kind of rude that, you know, if somebody walks by and all of a sudden they're in the shot and, you know, it's not right to record people and throw them on here, you know. So I try to keep it as clean as possible, you know, try to show you that work it out, get it going. And a lot of it, when I was recording in the beginning, is mainly because what I wanted to do was, I was trying to use it as a way to get a little more strict in my form, proper form. So I would record myself to see if I'm going deep enough or if I'm keeping straight with it, you know. Because I don't want to ego lift, but at the same time, I don't want to cut myself short. So I got a bunch of photos that I've taken, and I'll just throw a couple of them at a time as I go on through the videos. But for right now, I'm going to let you go. I hope you all have a good day. If you got any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in. Subscribe and like the video if you can. I'm in the beginning stages of this. I don't know anything, and hopefully I can make better content, get better at this. But it's a trial and error, you know. If it doesn't go nowhere, it doesn't go nowhere, but it's still a journal for myself. I can always look back at it and laugh, you know, and expose myself out there, even though it's not so much in the real world, it's right here. Get used to talking, you know, and I'm going to be doing a lot of because I don't know, I'm not a professional at this. But you guys have a good day. May God bless you. Stay at it, stay motivated, stay positive. You know, if you're religious, start with the Lord in the morning. That sets your mind straight for the day. Get some mobility work that gets your body ready for the day. Make sure you eat right, you know, get some food in you. So everything is working on all cylinders. Don't forget your water. Get your water in. And just go on about your day will get better. It'll help you deal with issues that come along. You know, having everything rounded from the top to the bottom, you know, all inside. All right? You guys have a good one.